Bernie is probably the only presidential candidate that I've seen in my lifetime that I'm like, you know what, I actually really, really rock with him.
Well, we don't live in the actual democracy. In a true democracy, the people vote for who they want. So the popular candidate wins. But this is not a true democracy. At best, this is a tweedism society.
Speak your truth, brother. Say more.
Boss Tweed is a political figure way back in the U.S. Basically, he was like, the people can vote for whoever they want as long as you let me pick the candidates. So, you can
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to run for president in America, actually make it on a major party's ticket, you have to either be rich or be in alignment with the rich and the elite. So, like, you can't just be a regular person and run for president. The rich people essentially pick who runs for president, and then everybody votes on those selections, but they're already pre-selected to have people that they want, in a sense.
That's something I've pretty much known. Anybody who's paying attention can see that.
Yeah.
Because if it was true that anybody can make it, then you would have the average Joe randomly pop up at some point in time to be able to do such a thing.
Yeah, but then you have people like Bernie Sanders that are actually legitimate political candidates, but because they don't have the backing of certain people that are higher up, they're not going to let them slip through the cracks and make it onto the party.
I'm not saying I would agree with fixing elections and choosing people in that way. I think that people should be able to choose it. But I think, and this is something that kind of goes back to kind of the work I do with leadership too, we got to teach people how to choose good leaders. Bad leaders are only able to be successful and gain influence because they're able to be charismatic, they're able to talk that talk and say stuff that people want to hear to get people to follow them. But they're not really the best candidates. So I'm rambling, but it's not a I think Liberia is in a great position to be able to have legitimate leadership.
And when you have certain people that control those avenues or control those outlets, those people essentially control how the general population thinks.
Yep.
That's going to influence everything, and it's going to influence elections.
They didn't work together enough to unify the body of people so that when they died, the progress died with them as well, and was taken severely back. And I think that same thing for Africa. If they as leaders, they got to come together and make a concerted effort, not just to be in their room or on their phone calls together, but to say, yo, we need to make sure all of our people are on board with this, because you got to be real and anticipate they're going to kill us. That's the fact of the matter. You have to, in your head, if you assume a leadership role like that or a political position like that, knowing what you're doing and knowing what you're up against, just assume that you're not going to die a natural death. It should be in your plan for life to say, I'm going to be killed, and this is what happens if I'm killed. Now, if you make it to die a natural death, great. But
you don't necessarily got to plan to die. Just know that they'll come after you. I'm saying that the reason they die is because that is strategic to kill somebody, because it ruins the operation. But what I like to say is, you got to decentralize command. You can't have one leader, one guy that everybody follows. That's who invigorates the movement. You can't have one, because they know that if you got that one, they can take out that one, and then it severely stifles the movement.